What's up, folks? It's Dan here from HeroAcademyFitness.com, and today we're going over plyo push-ups. Plyo is short for plyometric. Plyometric exercises are exercises that use explosive motions to develop speed and power. Now, sometimes you might see these billed as clapping push-ups, and everybody's familiar with a clapping push-up, usually where you do a push-up and you clap. I actually, while the theory is similar, I actually really don't like clapping push-ups because more often than not when you're doing clapping push-ups, you end up just focusing on trying to get the clap in, so you're not actually focusing on what you need to be focusing on, which is exploding your body weight off of the ground, okay? So for the plyo push-up, what you're gonna be doing is gonna be starting from basically the same as a regular push-up position, and you're gonna be doing a regular push-up, but you're going to emphasize popping off of the ground, okay? Now, I'm going to talk about a few things before I do this so that you can see them in motion, and we'll talk about it again afterwards. Things I want to focus on, coming from a dead stop at the bottom, okay? When you're doing these, you don't want to get into like a rhythm where you're doing them rapidly because then you're building muscle elasticity versus explosive power, right? Your muscles are like rubber bands. So when you're doing a motion, if you go down on the push-up, there is a period of time when you're in that down position where if you're driving back up again immediately, the natural elasticity of your muscles helps you do that. You don't want to recruit that natural elasticity. You're trying to develop power from a dead stop for these. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to make sure that when I go down into the prone position, I'm going to hang out there for just a little bit, just like a half second, okay? I want to make sure that my muscle elasticity is not helping me. I'm not resting on the ground. You'll notice when I'm doing them, I'm not going to go ahead and just like collapse my body weight onto the ground. I'm maintaining that body tension, but I'm going to go down and I'm going to hold the position for a second, and then I'm going to push off the ground as fast and as hard as I can. I'm not focusing, again, on clapping or trying to wave my arms around, do anything cool that looks good on Instagram. I'm trying to go ahead and just push off the ground as fast as possible. And I will pop off the ground a bit, but it's not going to be like a huge flying off the ground thing because I'm not trying to pop off the ground. I am trying to drive my arms through the earth as fast and as hard as I can. So that's the actual execution of the push-up. And now the other thing is when I pop off, what I want to make sure that I do is I don't want to lock my elbows and my arms because I'm going to come back down again, and I don't want to come down on that. That's a bad time for a couple of reasons. First off, you're going to injure your joints, most likely, okay, if you do that repeatedly over and over and over again. Secondly, working the eccentric portion of this, essentially catching myself, is also going to develop some speed and power, okay? So all that said, things to look for. Slight pause at the bottom, maintaining body tension, exploding upwards as fast as possible, probably popping off the ground a little bit. And then when I come back, when I have a slight bend in my elbows and a slight flex, ready to catch myself, my upper body is still tight, my back is still tight, my whole core is still as tight as I can maintain it. But I'm going to put a little bit of flex into my elbows as I come back down again so I can focus on catching myself and lowering down into that load position, okay? All of that said, let's watch it now, all right? Normal push-up position, neutral body, hands shoulder width, all right? I'm going to lower myself down. All right, that's it. That is the plyo push-up as a single exercise. I go down, hold that position, and notice I popped a little bit, and I'm pausing here so you can see this is the flex I was talking about in my elbows, okay? I'm not coming down onto a, like rock hard pole, if you will, all right? I'm coming down with flexed elbows to catch myself. Now, if I'm doing these in succession, I wouldn't pause there. I would catch and have a nice controlled descent down to the ground again, and then pause at that low position again. So we're going to do a couple in succession here so that you can see how I do them as an actual part of a working set. And that's it. That is the plyo push-up or plyometric push-up. You can work these assisted. It's a little tricky. If you can't do these basically as is, you may not want to do them because you probably haven't developed the joint, the tendon, and basically all of your connective tissues may not be ready for it yet. I hesitate to offer progressions for these because I don't want you to injure your joints. Plyometric exercises are inherently a little more dangerous than other exercises. But once you can do these, it's going to sound a little counterintuitive. Once you can do these unassisted, it's okay to start doing them assisted too, because doing them assisted will allow you to bang out more reps, develop more speed or force, if you will. And what you would do for that is essentially like you need like a power rack or something like this, and you would just take, or even just something above you can hook stuff onto. Take a couple of resistance bands, wrap them around your chest, light resistance bands, not heavy, and you would hook them onto the thing above and behind you. So like when you go down, the bands are going to stretch, and when you're pushing up, the bands will pull you up. But we're not really going to go over those today because that's outside the scope of this exercise. I'm just letting you know that is an option. The reason why you don't want to do them until you're able to do them without it is, again, because you want to make sure that you're conditioning your joints and your connective tissues and making sure that they're ready for the activity. And doing it with the band might encourage you to jump in it too quickly. I'd much rather you just get really good at doing push-ups first. So that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, remember to live boldly, change the world, and continue to be awesome. Bye-bye.